Hi everyone, this is Beth.
And Sunshine.
Aloha and welcome to today's webinar, How to Make a Mini Memoir Holiday Gift. So today we're going to show you how to create a beautiful, personalized, unique gift book of memories. Sunshine, what do you think about a book of memories as a gift?
I would love to receive something like that, especially for my kids.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? And if you use JamBios to create it, you can have it sent as a beautiful color premium hardcover book. Or if you're short on money this year, you can do it for free by leaving it all online, inviting your gift recipient to read it. How is that for the greatest free gift ever?
It's pretty great.
Pretty great, it is. Okay, so let's get started and show you how easy it is to put down your memories to create a treasured gift. So I know some people on this webinar are probably feeling like it's a little bit of an overwhelming undertaking, but actually it can be fairly easy. And today we're going to cover a number of things. We're going to go over planning your book, using outlines, turning memories into narratives, adding illustrations, and using the Jambooks creator, and how you can buy your Jambooks for free if you earn Monty Bucks.
I like free. I like Monty Bucks too.
I think you probably have earned a whole pile of them, haven't you?
Not to brag, but I try.
Yeah, you do. Okay. We also have some discounts and some specials. So stay with us till the end of the webinar, and we'll go over those. And we're going to do our best over here to keep things interesting so that you're going to want to stay for the whole webinar. I think it runs about 45 minutes or so. Okay, so most of you watching this are already JamBios users, but if anyone is on that is not, after the webinar, go ahead and make sure that you register at jambios.com and set up your JamBio. It's completely free to do so, so don't worry about that. And you just sort of follow along with the setup instructions. And on our end, we're going to go ahead and Sunshine has a sample JamBio that we're going to have on the screen that you can watch along with. Some of the stuff will just be discussion. Some stuff will be on the screen. So Sunshine's going to go ahead and be driving the computer for me and moving screen to screen. And, we probably should have mentioned that if you have any questions, Sunshine, do you want to tell them what they can do?
Of course. Okay, so if you do have any questions as we go through the material, just go ahead and use the GoToWebinar interface. Go ahead and type your questions in right there. I'll go ahead and monitor those on my end, and then at the end of the session, we will do our best to answer as many as possible.
Great, thank you. Okay, so you're thinking about making a gift book of memories. So your first step, your starting point, is to think about whom you want to make the gift for so that you can plan your structure, your chapters. So some examples might be maybe you want to give a book to your adult children or grandchildren with stories from your life. Or you could make a gift book memoir for your sweetie with all your favorite memories together.
Well, and another nice one too is like maybe making one with your kids for the grandparents, or one with family recipes, which is always my favorite, and stories about each meal.
Oh, I love that. And it's so neat too if you could put the about the family meals, like little things that happen at Thanksgiving or whatever would be fun.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Okay, so once you know whom you're making the gift for, you can start to think about what kind of memories do you want to include. So the easiest way to approach this is to start with some sort of an outline. If you're doing a mini memoir, or like a gift memoir, you probably want to look at something like 3 to 5 chapters with maybe 2 to 3 sections or memories per chapter, and that should be about right size-wise and very doable in a reasonable amount of time. So to help you create your outline, we're going to show you some samples, And these are actually in Jam Bios under the gift area with what we call chapter sets, which can be automatically added into your Jam Bio. But even if you create your mini memoir yourself on a Word document or something outside of Jam Bios, you can use the same concept to create your outline. So let's go ahead and take a look at them, and they should give you some good ideas for structuring your own memoir, or your mini memoir, I should say. Sunshine, are you navigating us over there to the chapter?
I'm going to right now.
Okay.
So up here in that black bar, you're going to see where it says gift ideas. I will go ahead and click on that, and that's going to take you right over to the page where you want to be. And then you're just going to scroll down, and you'll see these different chapter sets right there.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so let's look right there under those photos. We have 4 sample outlines. Each, I believe, has 5 chapters. So let's take a look, and you can see what you think of the structure, see if it gives you some ideas for your own as well. I like the life outline over there on the left for if you're making a mini memoir book for the adult children that I mentioned before. Family, this one is good for kind of a general. It works well for siblings if you get together with brothers and sisters and want to make a gift book for parents. The children outline, this one is really fun for those with kids to give to your kids' grandparents. And romance, yes, a wonderful gift for your sweetie. And not to generalize here, but for the guys watching, this is an especially thoughtful gift. And women, your partners will love it as well. So let's take a look at the actual outline structures. We don't have time to go in detail into each one, but let's take a look at life, and then we'll look at the others more quickly. So going to the life one over on the left, if you click on the little down arrow, you'll see it will open up, and we can see the sample chapters and sections that are in this template. And note that these are just ideas. If you do use this chapter set template, you can always change it up however you want, but it's a great starting point. So you'll see in this one, we've got a chapter about when you were young. Adult children love to hear stories about when their parents were young. I don't know why, but sometimes I think we all forget that our parents were kids once, teens once, and so it's really fun to hear those stories. And if you feel like your adult kids are not interested now, they will be down the road for sure. Let's see, the next chapter is about how you and your spouse or partner met and what was life like before the kids came along. And then there's a chapter about the kids being born. It's kind of fun for children to have your memories about those times. And then a chapter about your favorite times together as a family, or you could use that for maybe favorite times with each kid separately. And a final chapter that you can use for some closing thoughts. So that could be to let them know how much they mean to you.
Or let's be real, how about how much they drove you crazy?
Or how much they drove you crazy. Yes, so whatever you'd like. Okay, make sense? Great. So we can look at all the sample outlines by clicking on the arrows. So Sunshine, you're going to go ahead, are you opening up all of those for us?
Absolutely. Okay, so here's the family one, about ancestor stories, memories about mom and dad while you were growing up, family vacations, time with grandparents, and your thoughts on then and now. And you have the children one. I'll click that open, and the romance.
It's the romance one open. Okay. So we'll let everyone take a couple of minutes or a few seconds anyways to explore those. And then you can do so afterwards if you'd like in your own Jam Bio by just going to that gift idea area, scroll down, and open them up. And I'm kind of stalling here, giving you a chance to look at them. But while I'm stalling, if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, as Sunshine mentioned, at the end of the webinar, we'll go through them. So feel free to use this time now. Type them into the GoToWebinar interface. Okay, that's long enough stall, so we're going to take a minute now and show you how you can add these outlines right into your Jam Bios, table of contents automatically. You don't have to retype them. I think it's kind of cool. For our sample, why don't we go ahead and use the life one? When you add the chapter set templates, what it's going to do is it's going to create these chapters and sections right in the Jam Bio. You do so by clicking the preview button. You got that? And then it will show you what will be added. And don't worry too much if you're looking at it and you're thinking like, well, that's not exactly what I want. No problem, because you can change them, add to them, delete them, and so on once they're in there. So when you're ready, get ready, Sunshine.
I'm ready.
Okay, we're going to click on the Add button on the bottom right.
And presto magic, they are now inside your Jam Bio.
All right, thank you. Okay, now some people might be wondering or worrying at this point about this template being added into your Jam Bio with all your other stories. If you're a heavy Jam Bioer, don't worry at all, because the neat thing about Jam Bios is that you always choose and control with whom to share each part of your Jam Bio, and you also decide which sections you're going to turn into your gift book or PDF or document or whatnot. So it's best to think of your Jam Bio kind of like a repository of all of your memories, and then you can share and print and get side stories and comments on the ones that you want. And that way, you're keeping everything in one place. You don't have to jump around trying to find things. So no worries that your gift template is going into your Jam Bio with your other stories. When you make your book, you'll be able to pick just the areas that you want to use. Okay, so are we now in our table of contents with?
We are in our table of contents.
Okay, so you'll see everything. They go right on the top, so not the bottom, but right on the top of your table of contents. Okay, so your next step is the fun part. That's the part where you get to think back, enjoy your memories, and fill them right into your outline. So one thing I like to let people know is that don't feel like you have to start at the top. You can pick whichever area inspires you, brings memory bells for you, whatever you'd like. For me, I kind of like to do the easy ones first, and then when I'm in the groove, my memories start coming, I start to get ideas for the other ones and kind of do it in that order. How about you, Sunshine? Do you like to work chronologically from the top, or what sparks you, or how do you usually do it?
For me, it's always about what sparks me. So, like, especially this time of year, fall's a big deal. So, you know, someone decorating their house for Halloween reminds me of being little and decorating with my dad, or, you know, one of my 5 kids will say something, and I'm instantly reminded of them even when they were younger and would ask similar questions.
That's neat. Yep. Sounds great. So again, however you want. If you do feel more comfortable going chronological, you can do that as well. Okay, so next up, I'd like to share with you a few tips and tricks for writing your memoir. And this is whether it's Jam Bios or not Jam Bios. So these are just some thoughts that don't, just in general. So I have 7 or 8 of these. The first one, number 1, when you get a memory in your head that you want to use, just write it down. So don't worry about typing it in or writing and making it sound all perfect and flowery and everything like that. Don't worry about your sentences. Just write what you remember. So if you do it with your Jam Bio, go into a section, just write that memory out. You don't have to censor yourself at this point. Just get it down. Grammar and spelling, don't even worry about it. It's almost as if you were talking to a friend and a memory comes up and you're just telling them that story. Just write it like that. Number two, if you do find that you need some help remembering, we found that it works really well to do a little interview with yourself. So you can ask yourself related questions and use the old journalist trick of the who, what, when, where, why, how about whatever the topic is. And that's a great way to jog your memory and to get the ideas flowing. And if you're using JamBios, depending upon the chapter that you're in, you can click on Monty, our digital biographer, and see if there are any available question prompts they might have for you. Number three, so if you've written down a number of different memories on a particular section, then you want to go back and you can reorder them. So put them in the order that you feel comfortable with, that flows as more of a narrative. Then you want to, number four, you can add some additional color to your stories by reviewing your senses. And I'm going to let Sunshine talk about this one because she's really good at adding these kinds of things into her stories.
I love how Beth always says color because I'm always like, let's add a little bit of flavor to the stuff. Because for me, when I'm writing, and after 5 kids, there is a lot of things that you remember. So one of the things I always think about is, what was the weather like? Was it crisp? Was it cold? Was it really hot? Were the kids uncomfortable because they felt, a little too sweaty? Was there spaghetti in the kitchen that was being made? Was there coffee brewing? That's, for some reason, always brings back memories of my grandparents for me. All those little things, maybe my dad wearing his funky fishing hat, that, to this day I miss, but at the time it was something that we kind of made fun of. Mm-hmm. And so I think all those things, as you're thinking about your memory, don't be afraid to put those things in there. It's really going to add so much to your memory story.
Yeah, I love that. It's like you think about, like I said, the senses, like the touch, the feel, the smell, the sight, everything like that that you add just adds a little bit more to it. And then how about dialogue? Were there any conversations that you can remember? Write those down as well in the form of dialogue. And I know some people will say to me, "Well, Beth, I'm not sure if I'm remembering it exactly correct," but that's okay. It doesn't really matter if it's the perfect word for word. You're allowed to paraphrase, say it how you remember it. It's absolutely fine, and it really does add nice character to the stories. Okay, number 6. I think I'm on 6. Once everything is down and ordered and you like how you have it in there, you can add some transition sentences if needed. So if you have a number of memories and you feel like they're a little bit disconnected, you can look to see if you need to add some transition sentences between the memories and the paragraphs. And then you want to, number 7, just reread it, see if it flows all well. And the last one, number 8, then you can clean up your memory stories in terms of grammar, sentence structure, spelling, those things that I told you at the beginning. Don't pay that much attention to after the fact. Then you can start to look at those things. Mostly though, and the most important thing I'm going to tell you this entire webinar is don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. It doesn't really matter if it's well written, if it's mediocre written. Your family or your gift recipient, whoever it may be, will love hearing the memories regardless of how well you write it. Right, Sunshine?
Absolutely. I'm going to say here what I normally say to people when they get in touch with us here at JamBios and they have questions. And the most important thing is just to write your memories. I just couldn't stress it enough. All that matters is that you're getting them saved somewhere, because those things are going to be like gold one day to your family and friends.
It's such a treasure. And just so you are aware, we do have a service where if you're not confident on your writing and you feel like you want this, but you just can't feel like you can do it, we do have a service where we can interview you and we can write your book for you. So you can email us at hello@jambios.com, and we'll give you a link to information on that service if you'd like. Okay, illustrations. If you're making this in your JamBio and you're a JamBio user, you already know how to do this probably. And you have 2 spots to add photos, so we can maybe go into a section. Are we somewhere?
You got it. I'm doing that now.
Okay, and you might remember that up at the top of each section, there is a spot where you can add a photo. And then also you can add photos in line in the actual story, which is where I kind of like them. Sometimes on the top area, it's just in space, and maybe your photo ends up looking a little bit funny up there. So it's nice to add them right into your story. And you do that using that photo icon in the edit toolbar. And there's, in our help area, I think we're going to talk about this a little bit, we do have some help documents that show you how to do that. So customizing your template or your chapters or your outline, however you want to look at it. If you do want to change any of the chapter titles, so let's say you use the chapter sets, you plop them into your JamBio and you like them for an outline, but you want to change how they're titled, you can use that change title in the table of contents and just change it up to whatever you want. You can also add chapters. So there's a little button up on the right where you can add chapters. You can change the section name, anything that you want. You can delete, however you want to do that. So if you are a beginner to JamBios, do go ahead and check out those tutorials in the help area. I don't know if you can point to where those are. We don't have time to cover all the basics here, but I think you'll find it pretty easy and intuitive to use. And you can always click on the live chat. There's usually a live chat button somewhere on the bottom, and we're always glad to help. Sunshine is often manning that. I'm there sometimes as well. Okay, so now once you're ready to finalize and make your gift, there are a few things that you can do, and we're going to show you 3 different ways that you can give a gift, ranging from absolutely free to spending some money on beautiful hard copy printed books. So if you have no money at all to spend on a gift, you can still give a very, very thoughtful gift by giving your person, whoever it is, access to the stories that you've written. So how you would do that is just do everything that we're talking about writing your memoir stories. And then once the holiday time comes, you can click on Share Your JamBio over there on that top left area of Table of Contents. Are we there? Okay, and then you can put in the name and the email of your gift recipient, and it allows you to choose which chapters you want to share by toggling that button to chapters, and then select the ones you like, or you can toggle it back and share the whole JamBio. If everything in there is all related to your gift, you can toggle it back to the entire JamBio. And then you can add a custom message if you want. Maybe, Sunshine, you want to put something in there for us?
I'd be happy to.
So you can write a little message to whomever is going to receive it, and that's kind of like your gift card that way. So, you know, for perfectly free, it makes a really nice, thoughtful thing that you can do for somebody. So that's the free way. And then we have one step up from that, which would be to create a PDF, which is a document. And that would you could take all your stories and put them into a book format, but without the book, just the document. And that costs only $4.99. So that's also a nice, simple, affordable option. And the way we do that, if we go back to the table of contents page, are we there? And then on the right side is the Create PDF area. We can go ahead and click on that. And again, same thing. We scroll down, we pick which chapters, sections we want to include. And then when we're ready, we hit that Create PDF button. and you'll see it gives you the option, the $4.99 option, which means it will create your PDF without any of the Jam Bios marking on it. There is a free PDF as well that has a Jam Bios watermark. That watermark is on every page. It's kind of a light, it's very faded and light, but it's on every page. So the $4.99 would give that all clean without any watermark. Okay, but neither of these two, the free and the $4.99, really have that nice, tangible gift feeling to them. So let's look how easy it is to turn your stories and your photos into a hard copy book that will be sent to your gift recipients. We call them Jam books. So you navigate over to that area by clicking the Jam Books link on the top black navigation menu. And we're going to scroll down.
You're going to see the birds.
Oh, no, we got to get past the birds.
Oh, I did it. We got past the birds.
We got past the birds, okay. There's a music that plays when you go going past the birds, and Sunshine and I are a little sick of the bird music. And you click on the Buy Your Book area. Okay, and again, we get to pick which section. So that's what I was talking about before when I said don't worry about if you're adding your outline template to the rest of your Jam Bio. When you're making your gift book, you can pick whatever you want to put into that book. So we're going to go ahead and pick a few things off. We'll let Sunshine do that, just check them off. And then when ready, you click the Add These to Your Jam Bio. Now,
and there's our cover.
There we go. Now, often I wanted to mention that often these things, if you've ever tried to make a book before, you have to use these very complicated desktop publishing programs and figure out how to do it, and formatting it, and it can be very confusing. So with Jam Bios, what we did was we created a pre-formatted, really beautiful design created by our remarkable creative director, Raph. So everything is, the format of the book is all pre-done, and then your stories that you check off go right in there. So literally all you have to do is to select your stories, create your cover, push the button, proofread, and you're done. So we'll watch how this works. So for the cover, we can use the pre-made icons or photos. So maybe we can pick the tropical drink. I like the tropical drink. And maybe put that one with green. That one matches it. Yeah, I like how that looks. You see that?
That does look really good.
Okay, good. So the icons, they're kind of whimsical, and they're kind of cute on the cover. It has a nice, kind of a glossy cover, and they're pretty cute. If you prefer photos, we can go back down. We've got a whole series of free photos that you can use. I like the koi fish. The koi fish are nice. You want to try that one?
Sure.
Okay, and that one looks good with the orange color.
All right, let's just
scroll that up. So as you're using these, you get to try different ones out. You get to see what they look like. And we also have the premium covers, and we're continually adding to those. Right now we have some museum art, and we have some, oh my gosh, I love these beautiful old illustrations that come from very old 1700s, 1800s books. They're really cool. So let's take a quick look at those. Kind of like that yellow flowers. Do you have that one?
Oh, I do.
Over on the right.
With the blue.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. Maybe we can just pop it open and just to show you how it works. So basically, you can't really see the premium ones while they're in that locked state because they are premium. But if you click on any of them, it'll plop the box up. You can look at the picture better. Sometimes there's a description. If it's a museum art, it'll tell you about the museum piece, things like that. And these are all free to use. There's no copyright problem or anything like that. And I think we have them all for $1.99. Okay, so we can close that out.
Okay.
Okay. Also want to show you there's a spot over there where you can upload your own photo. So the only thing to keep in mind on that, the tricky part is that you do need to get the specs exactly right. And you'll see when you hover over there, Monty will tell you the size that you need. And normally when you're doing stuff online, it's not important because online it might look perfectly good. But even if it looks perfectly good online, when you're printing a book with ink, it has to be the certain size and resolution. And we have a spec sheet as well in the FAQ area. And there's also in there some little info on some tools that you can use to convert your photos to the right resolution and file types and things like that, just to make sure that it's going to look beautiful, vibrant, fit your book cover perfectly. And if you do need some help with that ever, just give us an email. We can try to help you out with that, or you can have RAF make you a custom cover. But for now, why don't we go and stick with the koi fish?
I think the koi fish look great.
I like the koi fish too. This is one of the free ones. Okay, so then we add a title, and maybe just for fun, since we've got a bunch of people on this call that are probably a few creative people out there, so maybe if you have an idea for a good title for our little sample memoir, go ahead and type it into the GoToMeeting interface. We're going to pause for a moment, let you type in something, see what people have. See, I'm stalling again.
And can we just say we did get a couple questions already, and we will get to those. I don't want you to think we forgot about you.
Right.
So once we get past a couple things, we'll be happy to answer those.
Terrific, yeah.
Someone did type in a pretty cool cover name that I think is awesome. My life was a little fishy.
My life was a little fishy. I love it. Let's go with that.
And if you're curious, my life was a little fishy. So.
And Sunshine's, a lot of her stories are on the community bookshelf.
Yeah, feel free to take a read.
If anyone wants to know more about Sunshine, you can go to the shelf. We call it the shelf, and you can read those. Okay. Little plug for Sunshine Stories. So when you're doing that, you'll see there is also a spot for a dedication and a quote, if you'd like, which go on the kind of like on the title page, which looks sort of neat on the printed version. I don't know, for dedication, you want to add, maybe if you want to add a dedication.
To my little school, or my school of little fishies.
School of Little Fishies. There we go. Okay, so once you get your title the way you want, your cover, photo imagery the way you want it, your title, dedication, quote, whatever, then we click the next step on the bottom right. From there, we get to pick our book size, and we have two different book sizes that we print through JamBios. One of them is 8.5 by 11, so that's like a sheet of paper, like a notebook paper size, which makes it's big. It's kind of a cool looking. It's sort of like coffee table book looking in that shape. I like those. And then the other one is the 6 by 9, which is like a more book size, a compact book size. And they all are hardcover, premium paper, vivid photo, color photos. They're really nice. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I get excited about them. I get excited. The 8 by 11.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with the 8.5 by 11. We'll hit that. Hit the next step. And at this point,
you will see your book being printed.
There we go. The program will start to do its little magic in the background, pull all your stories, pull them together, put them into the formatting, and you just have to wait. Now, I think we've only added a few chapters, so it's pretty quick, but I do want to caution that when you have a full one with, a lot of pages, whatever, you do need to wait and just stay on the page. It will come in, but it might take a couple minutes. Don't leave the page or you'll have to start over. Okay, and then once it comes in, you'll see right below the image of your book, it will have page numbers, and you can use those and just kind of flip through those. We can show that a little bit. And so you'll want to use that to just kind of get a feel for what it's going to look like, because it does look a little bit different than see it in your digital JamBio, because it's pulling them all from each chapter, each section, and putting them into the format. Now, you do want to make sure, double check your proofreading before you send it to print. So you can do it on the screen, or you can do what I do, I'm a paper and pencil girl, so I like to use, there's a button. We don't have to click the button now, but there's a proofread PDF button. And when you do that, it will take the book and it will make a PDF of it, so you can see it exactly. If you want to you can just print it out on your home printer, you can do that. So you'll notice as we flip through, you may be seeing a few blank pages, and it does look kind of funny online or in the PDF even, but in book format, it actually is put in there on purpose because printed books have certain places where you'll have blank pages to make it look proper in terms of a book, so don't worry about those. Okay, so once you're happy with your book, then you can hit the next step button, and it will let you know what the cost of printing is, and that's based on the size of the book and the number of pages. In this case, it looks like if we went with 8.5 by 11, it looks like our book is going to be $39.99.
You got it.
What a bargain. And there's some terms that you'll need to just sign off on, that you've proofread it, whatnot, because once you send it off, it does go off to print. So you just want to make sure you got it right. There's not a lot of time if you make an error to save it and save it from being printed. So you do want to be real careful. And that's it. You click the button to order and then put in your card and you're good to go. So how are we doing on time? We are looking good. So before we run out of time, I did want to talk about how you can get your books printed for free if you accumulate Monty Bucks. So Monty Bucks are like a reward program, and you can earn them in a number of different ways. You can earn them by writing in your Jam bio and earning badges for how much you've written. You can earn them by participating in activities in the Funhouse. Our Funhouse is new, and we're doing all kinds of different things in there. But the easiest way to earn a lot of Monty Bucks quickly, well, Sunshine, do you know easiest way to earn a lot of Monty Bucks quickly?
I do. The easiest way is going to be by sharing your referral link and asking your friends to register for Jam Bio.
That is correct. That is the quickie. And it doesn't cost your friends anything, so it's a pretty easy ask because, well
for each friend that signs up, you'll get a Monty Buck, and so will they. And each Monty Buck is, ding, 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 you guessed it, $1 towards your Monty Book and other items.
Yeah, so if you think about it, if you have, I don't know if you guys are big Facebook people, but if you have 100 friends or whatever, all you have to do is share your referral link, which it's your custom referral link, and you'll find that on that Explore page. Every time you log into Jam Bios, you start at the Explore page, and there's an Earn More button up at the top right, and that will give you your custom referral link, and post it, let your friends know. It won't cost them anything, and let's say 30 of them sign up, boom, that's $30 that you can use for your printed book. So yeah, it's a good way to take off some of the cost of your printed books. So okay, so we've covered a lot of material. I feel like we should take a little bit of breather. I know we've got people asking questions, so anybody else get your questions in. Type them right into that go-to interface. And while you are writing your questions, I mentioned at the beginning that we have some specials for those who attend the webinar. So let me tell you about our wacky webinar Midnight Madness sale. So for those of you who really want to do this, who really want to make gift books for the holidays, and really feel, and maybe even you need a little motivation to be like, okay, I want to do this, I want to get going. You can pre-purchase, if you pre-purchase a minimum of 3 printed copies of printed books tonight before midnight Eastern time, which is now coming up. This is our second webinar for the day, so you guys are at a disadvantage here. But you can choose from either free proofreading plus free custom cover design These are services which are worth more than $750 because we literally will read through your entire book and proofread it. And the cover design would be Raph working with you of what you'd like for your cover, and he does such an amazing job. Anyways, you can have all of that for free if you pre-purchase 3 books tonight, or if you feel like, hey, I'm a great proofreader, I know what I want to do for my cover, I don't need that, we can still give you 15%, that's 15% discount off of all the books you pre-purchased tonight before midnight. So even if you want to do more than the 3, you'll get 15% off all of them. So it works out pretty well. The book's printing starts at just $29.99 per book with free shipping to most places. So it's a pretty spectacular opportunity. I should mention that the first gift of the free proofreading and cover design, we do have to limit that to the first 10 people that contact us, just because we wouldn't be able to do a good job if we took more than that. So if you would like to go with that option, please email us right away, as in kind of like right now, because these are going to go fast. We did already have the first webinar. So the email is that hello@jambios.com, and we'll call you or get back to you after the webinar as soon as we get that.
You know, Beth, we should also mention that for anyone who is not quite comfortable with writing and is maybe interested in having us write their memoir for them, we can totally do that. And what we'll do there is we'll interview you, we'll write the story, proofread it, create a cover, put it in the book. That is an option as well, and a pretty spectacular one. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and email us at hello@jambios.com.
Yes, and Sunshine twisted my arm and had me create some specials for that as well. So those are only as part of the Midnight Madness. It's hard to lower the price too much because we do so much work on them that the amount of hours that we put in doesn't really cover the cost, but we like helping people anyway. So anyways, we'll be staying here through midnight Eastern time to handle all your orders. I know I'm starting to sound like an infomercial. Okay, so that was about our writing service.
I just wanted to mention real quick, and I know that I'm so corny, but I like that it's Halloween time, so the ghostwriting service is very timely. Do you get it? Ghostwriting?
Oh, boo. Except that we're friendly ghosts. Yeah. Okay, enough about Midnight Madness. Questions. So in our last amount of time here, we would be happy to answer those questions that you've typed in. So give us a moment. Sunshine's going to open up our GoToMeeting question panel to see what questions have come in, and hopefully we'll have answers for them. So
yeah, we do. Someone wanted to know, are the presentation slides available to them?
Oh, what a great question. That must be a business person, because that's what we do with our corporate. But as a matter of fact, there's no slides because Sunshine is going through it on the website. However, if it comes out, we are making a recording of this. And the recording we will put up in the website, and also we can send it out to you, a copy of a link to the recording, and then you can go through it again at your leisure. So I'm going to say yes to that question.
Okay, great. I had a feeling you would. I knew the answer. I almost jumped in and took it myself.
There you go.
Here's another great question. It said, you said if we use the templates, we can customize them. Could you review that?
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and do that again, because I know it is important. You want it to be yours, not the wording that we made up. So if you go back into the table of contents page, which is your main JamBios kind of jumping off point. So we go to my JamBios, we go to our table of contents page. So as far as the title of the book, you don't have to worry about that in the JamBio, because you select your own title separate when you're doing your print book. But for your chapters and your sections, you can customize those as well. So for the chapters, on that table of contents, over to the right-hand side of each chapter title, there's a nice little link for you, and that will allow you to just change it to whatever you want it to be. You can also customize each section title. by going into a section, and then that field that has the section title, that's an editable field, so you can just clear that out that's there, type in whatever you want. You could also customize your outline by adding chapters. I think we mentioned that before. So on your table of contents page, there's a button that says add chapters up toward the upper right.
Yes, and there's just a few of our chapters.
No, just a few. Oh, yeah, just like 100. There's like 100 something chapter types. But the reason why we have so many chapter types is just to give people ideas. Because for me, they sort of spur memories as you look through them. But if none of those work for you, the first one is a custom chapter, and you can just click on that and title it whatever you want. And all those added chapters, you also customize the title on that. So lots of ways to customize. Okay, any more questions?
We do. Are we able to get now this person knows the Jam Bios.
Sure.
Are we able to get contribution sidebar stories for the mini memoirs? Will they be included in the printed book?
Aha, the contributions. I love the contributions. So those of you that are on the call that know Jam Bios, you know that after you write a memory section, there's a way that you can invite friends or family that were there with you to add a side story. And that's what this question is referring to. So the answer is yes, most definitely. When you're doing your mini memoir, go ahead and do that if you'd like, and get others to add stories, side stories, and they come out peripheral to your own. So your story is always the main story, and then your friends, family would be like, it definitely is clear that that's a side story. And the answer to the second part of the question would be yes, they are included in your printed book. There is only one area that's not included in your printed book. Sunshine, do you know what that is?
Comments.
Comments, yeah. So you'll know that, some of you will know that. You also, when you share your stories, like if you share them to Facebook or something like that, people can write a comment on the bottom. Those we do not include in your printed book, just because those are usually more like just friendly comments. They're not really part of the story per se, and it could make your book kind of messy if those were included. So we just leave those off, and those stay in the digital version.
Right.
Okay,
we have a really great one because somebody's excited, and it says, do you have a phone number we can call for the Midnight Madness pre-purchase sale?
Midnight Madness.
Or should we just email?
Yes, we do have a phone number that you can call us at. That number is, what is that number? That number is 1-800-334, it's toll free, 1-800-334-2645. If you missed that, I'm going to do it again. Get your pen, your paper. 1-800-334-2645. Oh, now I really sound like an infomercial.
Yeah, but you know what? It's so great. Because, look, last time we did get a call from the last meeting.
I know, right after. So, yeah, feel free to call. Email is great, too, though, whatever is easier for you. Okay, well, this has been great. Thank you so much.
Can we just give a quick, to all the people that are chiming in, just to say thank you, and to Kristen, thank you for the compliment. We totally see it, and I'll share it with Beth afterwards. But it is our pleasure to share all this with you guys.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to give a shout out. I don't know if you're still here, but I saw Marla was coming in. So
yes.
Marla, my shout out to you. Thanks for coming. And just thank you to everybody. We're really excited. I hope you got some great ideas for creating that really personalized gift, whether for the holidays or for a birthday gift, anything like that. We know that your family will love it, will treasure it. And please do not hesitate to get in touch with us if you have questions, if you need help. We are always glad to assist. And with that, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sunshine. And we'll see you at the next webinar. Bye for now.
Bye, you guys, and happy jam bioing.